Guys, welcome back to my channel, Critics Cup. Today we're having a look at the brand new LEGO Fantastic Four First Steps LEGO set. First time ever getting the Fantastic Four and Galactus in LEGO form. Of course, they've appeared in video games and TV specials and bits and pieces over the years, but I can't believe it's taken nearly 20 years for LEGO to finally make these iconic Marvel characters in physical form for the first time ever. This is set number 76316. Fantastic Four versus Galactus construction figure, 427 pieces, and retails for £55 in the UK, so it's quite expensive because I think LEGO know this is just going to sell like hotcakes, this set. Hopefully you guys will be able to find a decent deal on it down the line. The box art has all the main characters down the side from the film itself. Now what's interesting that I noticed the other day was Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm. They're using the civilian names. Even though they're in their Fantastic Four outfits, they're going by the civilian names rather than their superhero names, which I found quite interesting. I don't know if anyone else has picked up on that. You can see the back, some of the play features, which isn't really that many. Most of the play features come from the minifigures. You guessed anything else but 4 number bags included in this set. Of course, they have picked the perfect number of bags. Unfortunately, that doesn't include the same perfect amount of stickers. As you can see, there's quite a few stickers. Even though it says 6, there's a lot of duplicates. Here's the set all built up with all the minifigures posed and displayed as they show you to do in the instruction manual. So as you can see, you've got quite a few areas where you can place your Fantastic Four minifigures. Of course, you can see the action pose piece for the Human Torch. And you can see that you've got, on each hand, you've got a stud so you can attach minifigures. And while I've got the minifigures attached, I might as well show you all the points where you can attach them. So you can see here, you've got a stud here and here where you can also post minifigures like Invisible Woman. And you've also got studs on each feet, which don't look the best in my opinion, but you can still do what, once you put some minifigures on it, it doesn't look as bad. But let's take a closer look at the set itself. So Galactus is a character in Marvel that we have been waiting for many years to get, ever since the LEGO Marvel Superheroes game, where he was the big bad and final boss in that first game. It's so great to finally have some form of him in LEGO form. Now, I know a lot of people wanted the buildable minifigures, which I get, they're really cool and they are the best way to do these, but at the same time, LEGO only did that concept twice with Ant-Man and Ares from Wonder Woman, and they never did it again since 2017. It's a really old style that LEGO did that they have still not brought back all these years later, so it makes sense to do in a construction figure for Galactus. But what I will say, this is the best construction figure that I've ever had. Looking at the arms, you've got shoulder ball joints and these pieces can be articulated. And then you've got the arms which go like this, so you can have him coming across his chest like that. The hands are on ball joints. All the fingers and thumb are posable on both sides, both identical. No real distinction between any of the builds on either side. You've got these nice shoulder armor pieces which really bulk it up. Now this sticker was a pain to place. Still a little bit off center. I wish that was a print because it is very difficult to align, trying to match it in with the blue, dark blue and the hot pink magenta. Along the belt, you've got these arrowhead pieces which look really cool for detailing. Now I'm sure kids will lose them while playing with this. The worst part is definitely, if you look at it like flat on, you can see the ball joint is not well covered up, which I don't like, but you don't normally see it if you're looking at it like iron, or if you tilt the head forward slightly, hides it a bit, but they could have done something a bit more there to cover up that gap. That's probably the most least visually interesting part of this. Moving on to the skirt area, so you've got, in total, you've got 8 stickers that make up this skirt piece, and you're probably wondering where. So we have this flap, which you can pose. I don't know why you would want to do that, but if you want to get to the legs a bit better, these can also move out to give you better articulation on the legs. Spinning them around the side, moving the arm out of the way. They use these windshield pieces they use in Star Wars sets in dark blue, and you've got 3 stickers. Then you've got another flap, another sticker, and you've got another 3 stickers on this side. So yeah, lots of stickers go into the skirt bit, but without it, I think it just doesn't really complete the build. As I was building this, I was thinking this doesn't look that great. But then once you build the head and add the skirt, it really comes together really nicely. I just found building it as a basic construction figure at the start, I was just like, this isn't looking very good. But then when you finish it, it actually really comes together nicely. Now the legs, so move these out of the way just to show you the full range of motion you can get. So you've got the ratcheted joints, which go out like this. Ball joints on the legs and the feet, which can have some limitations, so it could kind of only go side to side. But you can get some good poses out of it. Waist does also articulate, which is really cool. So you can have him looking down like this over there and getting all mad about something. Head is really well done. These do move like this, so you can have it in funny angles, but of course you want it in the iconic shape. It is a little bit fiddly, but once you get it at the right angle, it looks brilliant. Now, I don't think Lego could have done that any better, because it's just how you get these very distinct angles on the helmet, which make Galactus so iconic. The face is printed, a bit that isn't too visually interesting. So if you're looking at this from the top down, at the moment you can't see it, but if I lift him up, you can see that there's that cross in dark grey. I wish it was brown, just to hide that up a bit better, because it doesn't look really good from up high angles, especially if you've got it on a low shelf. So the legs are all well covered up, which is quite nice. You've got some pieces here covering it up. You've got this piece which you attach flying characters to if you want, which you can remove if you like, just a little bit awkward. Now you can see the back of the neck there, and the back of the head is all right. It's not the greatest. They could have put some pieces here to cover all this up, but then it would have added more bulk and taken away from the shape. I think they just wanted to keep the smooth edges more so than anything. Same with these, there's nothing you can really do at this scale. These are just so small, these pieces. Back to the arms are all right. They've got the circle pieces as well that they've used throughout all over this. The back isn't terrible. It could be worse. I'm glad they included the extra skirt, even though you have to put another sticker. I'm glad they put that around here just to hide all the construction figure elements. Here's Mr. Fantastic and Mrs. Fantastic. So you can see here, the biggest controversy with these figures is no dual molded legs, which they could have included 4 times, so that would have helped the production costs, because the more Lego reuses certain pieces, the less it costs them, as from what I understand of it. I don't like the fact that they gave him the white boots here, which I don't mind them being at this shape, because he's got super stretch power, so he can make his feet look like whatever he wants. So I don't really care about that, but the fact that they gave the extension pieces, the dual molded legs, and not the actual minifigure really bothers me more so than that. But then they would have to swap out the legs, because he would have the boots up here and down here on the piece, which I don't think people are really taking into consideration. Sue Storm uses these dish pieces with just a couple elements, which you've seen before. The only distinction between any of the torsos is that Mr. Fantastic, for some reason, doesn't have the white collar like the other 3. So he's got his own exclusive torso. Sue Storm should have had the female cut outlines like they do for a lot of the female minifigures, just to distinguish it, but that would have been a 3rd print for a torso. And I believe his face print for Pedro Pascal's brand new. I don't think this is the one they use for the Mandalorian. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Vanessa Kirby's face print they use for her is okay. It's not the greatest. I've got a double-sided face, and you can see the back torso brilliance. So here's the fin and the Human Torch. Now, I'm just quickly showing you the elements they use for Johnny. So it would be really cool to get a flame-on version of him, because you could have reused the torsos from Sue and Ben to make a normal Human Torch, which is quite easy to do with the pieces in general, considering they use a face print that isn't even exclusive. So it would have been cool if they just made him transparent orange or full orange to show his abilities, because this isn't the greatest. Hopefully the Doomsday sets, he's all flamed on. Again, Lego kind of cheaped out with the minifigures here, because the torsos are exactly the same as Sue's. But a lot of people were wondering, look, uses the white minifigure hand pieces, so it doesn't even match his actual skin tone. So I don't know why they did that. It doesn't look the greatest. The Finn, I wish he was a big fig as well, because I think the video games really sold us on a Finn big fig. Just makes more sense, because this fight in a Hulk big fig won't look that great in stop motions and stuff like that. Hopefully we get a comic big fig version of him. I mean, I was really hoping we were going to get it in the Spidey and His Amazing Friends sets, but that still hasn't happened, because it is in that show. They used a whole new head piece for him, which looks really good. See Ben Grimm's face print, which looks really cool. And a better look at that new piece with the eyebrows molded in, which is really cool. Yeah, I really like him, but it just, as a fan of big figs, I like to get new characters as big figs. That's going to do it, guys, for my look at this brand new Fantastic Four set. Now, it's not 100% perfect in terms of the minifigures, and the price is absolutely horrendous. But I'm still really glad it does exist, considering we didn't even get a Thunderbolts Lego set, which hopefully they will get included in the future Avengers sets, because that was a real letdown. That movie didn't get anything. But yeah, I think it's definitely worth buying, but if you can, just wait for a sale. I know there's going to be extreme hype around this because of how long we have waited for these characters in Lego form. But at the end of the day, just save your wallets and just wait for sales. I think also Lego missed the trick. They could have done the long stretchy arms like they did for Miss Marvel and Elastigirl, and also done a flamed on version of the Human Torch, because you're encouraging people to buy multiples of these sets to get duplicate minifigures if they want a normal powered down Human Torch, or they want to cut off the arms and put the normal arms onto Mr. Fantastic. Same Invisible Woman, like a transparent leg. You're encouraging people to buy extras by making some elements more exclusive and just leaves like the fin as a basic character so people can customize. I think that would have been the best solution for this set, is if Lego just did all the extras. Really like this set. I give it a 8 out of 10 if it weren't for the price and some of the shortcuts they did with the figures. But let me know what you guys think. Will you guys be buying this? That is going to do it for this review. Hope you all did enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one.